Hello everyone, my name is Noah and today we're going to be taking a look at the interior of the 2021 Nissan Rogue Platinum all-wheel drive. When it comes to the comfort and the quality of the materials, I have to say I'm overwhelmingly impressed with the seats of the 2021 Rogue. Being a Platinum, of course, we're an all-leather interior, and with the diamond quilted patterns, just feels so upscale and so different from the typical kind of bland leather that Nissan had in 2019 and 2020 for the Nissan Rogue. Of course, we also have heated seats for the driver and passenger, and what's new to 2021 as well is we have heated seats for the outboard passengers in the rear, which is so rare to find in 5-seater SUVs at this price point. So one of Nissan's goals, as we know, is innovation for all, or innovation excites, and the 2021 Rogue definitely delivers on that promise. What's really cool for 2021 is we have this low profile shifter, and it's paired with a drive mode selector on this dial, which I absolutely love. As we shift it around, we can choose between eco mode, auto, snow, which is fantastic because Nissan's intelligent all-wheel drive system is back in the 2021 Rogue, as well as off-road selector, which I really like. I mean, with this rugged exterior looking car, for the interior to match that and give us an off-road selector, I find really, really cool. Nissan's also added wireless charging and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto for the Platinum trim level of the 2021 Rogue. Super cool feature to have. I always remember when I was using an Apple device, I changed to Team Android, is that when I didn't have my cable for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, it was just a bummer, right? Because I couldn't use the feature that I absolutely love, which is Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. So more importantly than comfort, there are certain technology features in terms of innovation that have come back to Nissan for the 2021 Rogue. Of course, we have lane departure warning and prevention, blind spot warning and prevention, intelligent emergency braking, both for vehicles and for pedestrians, and forward and rear, of course. With safety being such a core component of the Nissan brand, one of the features I love to see that's come into the 2021 Rogue is the heads-up display. So when it comes to my speedometer, my navigation, your phone calls, your audio, all accessible and visible through this crystal clear heads-up display, as opposed to fidgeting around with buttons or looking at different screens all over the place. I mean, to have all your information just focused right there, blending seamlessly with the road, is probably the coolest thing that I've seen from the 2021 Rogue. But one of the other things that's impressed me about the Rogue is the quality of life improvements, right? Because we're going to be driving this vehicle daily, some of us more than others, but the time we spend in it is made easier by how the vehicle's laid out. There's a massive amount of space of storage right underneath my drive mode selector and shifter, and that's fantastic for storage and easy access for you and your passenger. But a small feature I also love is my armrest storage is no longer popping up like so. It's in butterfly class, so it opens up really nicely. And so if people in the back and my family want to grab stuff from inside the storage, they can really easily. And it's those small little quality of life improvements that make the 2021 Rogue really special. But I think what it really comes down to, and what's really hitting me as I'm sitting inside the 2021 Rogue, is that in all the time I've spent reviewing vehicles to determine whether or not they're going to be great choices for people and their families, is that the perceived value of the vehicle you're sitting in has to be higher than the actual value that you're paying. And I think the Nissan Rogue's definitely delivered on that in 2021. Price point being super reasonable and right there and competitive in the market, I sit inside this car and it feels more unique and special than other vehicles in the market. The buttons for the windows themselves feel more upscale than the cost of the vehicle. The steering wheel feels better in hand than the cost of the vehicle would suggest. When I look at the quality of the materials, the soft touch all along the dashboard, the quality of the screens themselves, the updated features and technology, this doesn't feel like the price point that the Rogue sits at. So always important when we're considering an SUV for a family or for our friends is the comfort of the rear seats. And what I found looking at the 2021 Rogue sitting inside of it is this is supremely comfortable for adults as well as our smaller passengers like children. We have heated outboard seats in the Platinum trim level, our own climate control for our rear passengers, USB and USB-C ports for charging, and the seating and the quality of the materials feels fantastic. And the cabin's very open and light. We have a massive power panoramic moonroof up above us, but we're also going to head to our cargo space in the back to take a peek because of course we want to have a great amount of space and functionality when it comes to an SUV. Okay, so we're here at the back of the Rogue, and one of the features that I absolutely love is the power-activated and motion-activated liftgate. The speed with which it rises up is fantastic, but what's also really nice about the 2021 Rogue is the dimensions for the rear has actually changed. So now you'll see we're a much more square profile, which means that loading and unloading things from the back of the Rogue is much easier in 2021. We still have our divide and hide feature, which is fantastic, so we can change our configuration and layout for the rear of the Rogue, but we also have our pull tabs at the side of the trunk of the Rogue, which means knocking the seats down is really, really easy from the trunk if you're loading things on your own. You're not moving from the side of the vehicle to the back, to the side, to the back in order to just load things into the Rogue. We're actually going to take the Rogue out on the road for a quick spin and see some of the features in action in the 2021 Rogue. whenever I'm behind the wheel of the 2021 Rogue, I find myself pleasantly surprised. It might be because when I think of the Rogue, I still think of the 170 horsepower and 175 pound-feet of torque that we had in the previous years, like the 2019 and the 2020. The 2021 has 181 pound-feet of torque and 181 horsepower, and that feels really great because it's paired to a new CVT transmission that's been updated for 2021. We're also linked to some paddle shifters, which is great. So if I click those into effect, we're into 5th gear now. And of course, they're simulated gears because as a CVT transmission, we don't have any gears. But more importantly than power, because when we're looking at a vehicle in this class, we're not necessarily looking for the fastest SUV on the road. I mean, there are options for that out there. But what we are looking for is the convenience and the technology and the safety. And in that regard, the Rogue is doing super well. So we can activate our ProPilot Assist program here, and the ProPilot will take over as soon as I push set. This is ProPilot Assist 2.0. So what that means is the vehicle is going to automatically adapt our speed on its own based on its navigation link. So when it senses that we're actually making a turn, it's going to automatically kind of reduce our speed a little bit, which is super nice. You can see it doing it here. It's reducing us to 83, then 82, then 81, then 80. And the reason why it's doing that is to make the driving experience a little bit more seamless. So whereas before, say we were cruise controlling with our radar assist at 90 kilometers an hour, it would have just chucked us into a corner at 90 kilometers an hour. And it's not like it was super uncomfortable, but it definitely wasn't the most comfortable experience. And so it'll do the same thing when it comes to getting into lane changes for upcoming exits on the highway. And that ProPilot Assist 2.0 is just a continuation of Nissan's intelligent safety and mobility program. So of course you can see here we have 3 bars set between myself and the car in front of us, so the furthest distance allowable. And so it's slowing that down, and that's all linked to my heads-up display, which I can see right in front of me, which is super nice. But I definitely recommend test driving a 2021 Rogue because that's how you're going to see how comfortable, right, how ergonomic, and just how driver-centric the car is. Everything is designed towards the driver and towards that experience. My hands are off the wheel, but it's only because we have ProPilot 2.0 on. I promise. Set new speed limit. So that's another thing too, right? It recognizes that my speed limit is higher, so it's asking me to set a new speed limit. So it knows that it's 80 kilometers through here. It's saying, hey, you know what, you were set for 75, you can go 80 now, which is great. Asking me to put my hands on the wheel as a wheel check for a second. And we're gonna come up to the turn here, and it's actually just gonna automatically start to decrease my speed incrementally, just to make it a little bit smoother on us. Our blind spot detection going off in the corner there, letting me know that someone's there. Had I actually clicked my turn signal indicator on, and I'll do that here. So it's letting me know right there, buzzing at me that we're not to turn into that lane, right? So I mean, this host of safety and technology is just all around you at all points. So we're pulling back into the dealership after a nice nighttime drive in the Rogue. Calming is the best word to describe it. I'm kind of confident, but calming as well. ProPilot on the highway, the city streets were great. Got to use the paddle shifters for the simulated gears for the CVT transmission. That was super fun. And every time I drive it, I'm just kind of reminded that this is probably, at the moment, one of the most viable options for a 5-seater family SUV that does really well in fuel economy and has a ton of safety and tech at every trim. My name is Noah. It's been a pleasure talking about the Nissan Rogue with you guys, and catch you next time. Cheers.